Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're here again with Big Sasha, and he's gonna talk about the protests that have been going on in his country, Belarus. And say hi, Francesco.
I'm Francesco. I'm the second host of this podcast. We're here with Sasha. He's a lovely guy, 18 years old, Belarusian. No, Belarus.
Yeah.
How many kgs of Belarusian meat?
79.
79 of Belarus flesh. Okay, but he's back. He's already recorded an episode with us, and we called him again because we were a bit interested about a specific situation, an issue that's going on in with like global significance.
Mhm.
And do you want to talk about it? Introduce it.
Yes, okay. So we have massive protests in Belarus since July. So it's been more than 120
Oh.
days of consistent protests.
So they started after COVID.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, the main idea is that we had one president for 26 years, and he won the elections again, falsified.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the short information.
What is this speculation based on? Like the thing that he
Falsified.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we had our elections in the 9th of August,
Mhm.
and before it, it's the 5th elections of him. We had in 1994, 2001, and so on. And the recent one was in 2015. And during all these elections, we had some pro-government president, guys who wanted to become president, and he never had actual competition from anyone because, first of all, we didn't have any opposition parties created because they were banned and stuff, and that's it. And in this year, actually, some actual opposition was created by the guys who were a part of the government.
Mhm.
So Victor Babariko is one of the biggest bankiers in Belarus, and he received lots of awards from the president. So he was an actual. He was a true competition for him.
Yeah.
And another one, Valery Tsipkalo, he used to be an ambassador in the Belarusian embassy in the USA. So actual people who can do something,
Yeah.
And they gained some support. So Victor Babarika started his campaign actually in Facebook, and I followed it because he's my friend on Facebook. Let's go. Yeah, and so I was following it from the beginning, and he gained so in order to be able to elect on the elections, you have to gain 100,000 signatures from the public, and he got 400,000 signatures. So it's actually a lot because in Belarus we have 9 million people only, so it's a significant number.
Yeah.
And so everybody saw that actually the opposition was quite harsh, because we had lots of people who supported not the Alexander Lukashenko, who's the president, but opposite leaders. And so everybody knew that if he wins, it's going to be a falsification.
Mm.
And he says that he won with 80.2%. It's impossible. I mean, this guy got 400,000 signatures. The other guy got 150.
When did this happen? This was this year. When it
This
started?
year.
When
Was it
everything started?
during the pandemic or before?
During the pandemic.
Okay.
This summer, basically. So people saw that actually the opposition was there, and that's why everybody was sure that he falsified it.
Yeah, but how then after, because at the start they were not as violent as now, the protests. They haven't been so violent, people actually get caught from police and being beaten.
No, actually the first few days were after the elections were the most brutal ones, because people were actually a few people were killed, lots of people were tortured, like literally tortured with like raped with police buttons and stuff like that. It was horrible. And right now it's again pretty much like that. It's like a wave, of violence from the police.
Yeah, and why, in your opinion, it goes like that?
I mean, it's just a strategy from the government. At first, the president thought that he's going to be able to solve the problem just by brutal violence, because people will just be afraid to.
Because maybe it's the only way he can.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
You got so many people against him. There's like, is there actual evidence except for the fact?
Yeah.
The actual evidence.
Yeah. So the voting system is that you have to come to like a school basically and put your like paper with the name of the candidate in a how do you call it, like a box of.
Yeah, it's the same in our country.
Yeah, and so I don't know, maybe like 5-10% of these points of collecting the votes said that they falsified it. They were made to falsify the actual result.
But what do you think the percentage of these people are like against the current president?
We had some polls before the elections, but they were banned, by the way. And the current president got about from 3 to 8% of support, and the other candidates got like about the remaining percentage.
But if you have to falsify something, you need to have someone who falsifies it for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, but you can pay people.
Who's the
people who work for the government and who depend on the government? Teachers, maybe like police officers. People who get paid by the government.
Yeah, because they rely on the government, so they have to follow the rules.
Yeah.
But what I've been questioning myself is that why the police doesn't like support the protest, because also in the USA you have police like during the Black Lives Matter thing.
Yeah.
There were policemen that were like beating up people, killing people, and stuff like that. But at the same time, you had police that were actually supporting.
Yeah, I understand.
But in Belarus, I don't know if it's because we don't have enough information.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe I'm ignorant because I don't know enough stuff, so I don't know if the police is actually doing something, or if it's as I think that the police is against these protests.
Yeah, the police is 100% against the protests, but still some individuals, I don't know, maybe like a few thousands of police officers actually resigned, and all were fired as well because they supported the protest. I mean, he was in power for 26 years, and he was able to build a system which is absolutely loyal to him. He has like the main police officers are like his closest like friends.
Yeah. Is it working? The system, has it worked properly for these 25?
Yeah, I mean, if he was a president for 26 years, that shows that the system is strong actually, and in order to break it, it wouldn't necessarily take only 5 months.
But I guess Belarus as a whole worked well the 26 years. Or
no,
was he a
Maybe
good?
you have economic growth and all this stuff.
I mean, he says that Belarus has pretty much the best economic growth compared to the other post-USSR countries.
Mm.
But still, if you compare it with Estonia or Lithuania or Czech Republic, countries which have the same population, the same size, pretty much. Lithuania is actually smaller a lot. Still, their economic growth is 5 times higher than Belarus. Mm-hmm. And we could use our position. We're actually in between of Russia and the EU, literally in between. Yeah. And it's a comparative advantage. We can trade stuff. We have some actually resources to do a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah, but still, maybe in the first 10 years he did something useful, but then just holding his chair.
How has this situation affected the everyday life of a common Belarusian citizen?
Yeah, I mean, it's just more scary. My mom doesn't want me to go outside at all, pretty much, especially on Sundays, because we have massive protests on Sundays specifically. I mean, you're just generally scared, to go to a shop. I'm scared to come back home right now because my friend who studies in London was questioned, why do you come back? Why do you study in London? Why don't you study in Belarus? I mean, she just comes home. Why would you question for 10 minutes? So like you're genuinely being afraid.
Yeah, and this is added up to another issue, which is also of global significance. It's a global pandemic we're living in.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there have been many things in 2020 that, but yeah, it's really. I feel like the situation in Belarus is not being discussed enough throughout the world.
I agree. Actually, I agree.
I think that like we can see the difference with the Black Lives Matter
Yeah.
protest, because like at first we didn't know. It's fine. Like the first 2 weeks we didn't know like as much, but after we had TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, news we're only talking about that.
Yeah.
When in Belarus, like I never saw a TikTok about it.
Yeah.
The only Instagram post I see is yours,
Yeah.
and that's why I know about it.
Yeah.
News here, I don't.
I think it's mostly because with the Black Lives Matter issue, it's more of a social problem about racism and how it's.
But like in Belarus, a lot of people are killed.
But it's still social, but it's more political. People have to be actually like be informed about the topic.
Also, if we look at Trump, like Biden, I knew more of the elections in the USA than the ones in my country.
Yeah, but I think actually it's probably. I mean, the U.S. is the most powerful nation in the world. That's why you probably know.
Yeah, I know, but
a lot
like
about what's going on.
I think that they should inform people more about what's happening.
I'm not justifying anyone.
No, yeah, sure. I'm just discussing. Like it's just a discussion.
I have
we
a
should
potential.
know all more about it because it has been how many months? 6, 5.
Since July.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there are so many other issues.
Yeah, it's true.
One of the potentials, explanation why people in Europe are throughout the world are not actually aware of what is going on in Belarus is that the government doesn't allow usually foreign
reporters.
Yeah. To enter the country.
Yeah, also maybe if it didn't happen in 2020, but like in 2021 or 2022, we will know more about it because as Francesco was saying, there were so many things going on and still there are so many things going on.
Yeah, maybe it's being covered up by a big wave of other bad news. Yeah. But about the reporters thing, there's social media. The other
social media, yes, but the government does everything in order to prevent the spread of information. For example, they block every Sunday. They block the internet. Every Sunday, and sometimes on Monday as well. Because on Mondays we also have protests of old people, 65 plus years old usually, and that's why it's a little bit harder to share it in your Instagram. It's still possible, absolutely. Like the day after, you can save it, but still, some percentage of information is not
sure. It's difficult. But also, I was wondering how this is affecting you because knowing that this is happening in your home country while you are away, like how it's affecting you. Would you think you would act differently or have minor impact? Because now that you are in international school, you can make international people know more about it.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Actually.
That's what you're doing with your Instagram stories. That's why I know about it, for example.
Do you feel safer?
Yeah, but yes, I do, absolutely. But still, I'm really worried about my family and friends because my best friend was detained just for staying in the street, and he was detained for 13 days. Bloody hell! I'm just.
That's ridiculous.
That's ridiculous, exactly. That's why I'm worried about my girlfriend who lives on one of the main squares in Minsk. So I'm afraid a little bit for my family.
Yeah, I get you. But do you feel like you're in the same situation as them, or do you feel like you have there's a slight difference maybe? Because you don't live there. You have different opportunities because you're studying the IB.
Yeah.
You don't really depend on Belarusian institutions that much, education.
Yeah, but still, I wanted to open a business in Belarus.
Yeah.
And I follow the news and stuff. I'm being affected, I guess, in the same way. as everybody else, because I'm still it's my home, you know. I'm still thinking that after I finish the university, I'm still gonna go back to Belarus because I know the country, I know how to do something in there and how to achieve something, especially with like knowledge I'm gonna get. Like
I get you, because when COVID was like the first months of COVID, Italy was the only country actually hit by the pandemic, and I felt it like I was there, like.
I was really scared for like my family. I was like, I wanted to go back because I thought like, what if like something happens to my family and I live far away? You know,
yes.
that was my like biggest. I don't know.
Yeah, during in September, I was also thinking like, I wasn't really serious about it, but I still considered not coming back here, but like staying in Belarus because I was generally afraid of my family being like beaten or like something.
Yeah, but it's really nice of you that you're actually spreading awareness. In St. Clair, so many people. Like, I don't think without you, we probably would have never known this issue actually.
Or really late. We knew like a quarter of it.
Yeah, and I think it's really nice of you. And you mentioned being like in on Mondays, the over 60s.
Yeah.
Is there any group of people like that is more affected by this and that is actually having the loudest voice?
Yeah, I think everybody is affected at first. As always, the youth is like the main driver of a like revolution, basically. So the youth were affected the most. But still, right now, everybody is affected. The people who study in the universities are being expelled if they do something which is not right, support the protest. People who work in like, I don't know, 30, 35 years old, who work in like hospitals and stuff, they've been fired if they support the protest. The guys, like the older guys from like 55, 70 years old who support the protest are being like depressed. Basically.
Yeah, I get you.
So everybody's affected equally.
And what about
like the economy in the country? Is it like the protest? Is it affecting the?
Yeah, absolutely. The economy is doing horrible. Actually, the Belarusian ruble depreciated against euro by 50%. 50%. That's insane. Actually, like we have also like so-called cyber partisans. So the people who usually like affect the websites of Belarusian government and stuff. And they also asked everybody to take all the money from the current accounts. So the banks have no money.
Yeah.
And I mean, the economy is doing really horrible.
It's horrible. And is there a difference? Like the people protesting, are they like mostly? Do they mostly belong to a specific social class, or is it evenly spread among the?
It's evenly spread. I mean, in the beginning it was mostly young people, but right now it's. I mean, every Monday we have, literally every Monday we have older generations going on the street, and it's actually quite massive. We have a few thousands, which is a lot for Belarus. And about the economy, one last point is that I mean the internet is shut down.
Yeah.
So it actually affects the IT business. Which is
there's a lot going on in the internet.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's horrible for starting your like enterprise or something.
Yeah. Do you have any questions, Camila? Any final points you guys want to make?
Yeah, no. My next question is there a way in which like the school or your schoolmates, the school, or in general like international people could help people from Belarus, like not pose, but like donating money to associations?
Yeah, donating money, absolutely. We have lots of charities which give money to people who were fined just by staying on the street, or for policemen who decided to retire. No, not retire, but like not to serve as
not support the government.
And actually, in order to not to work as a policeman, they have to pay a release, like something. So we have to pay in order to take your documents away and not to work.
Yeah.
So we can also yeah. I mean, I can give you some links in order to.
Yeah, we can leave the links.
And just spread awareness, obviously.
Yeah, okay. We might talk about this for ages, but unfortunately we only have 20 minutes, and it was like obviously a pleasure for me and Camila to have the opportunity to speak about this. We wanted to
spread awareness.
Yeah, exactly. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope Sasha enjoyed it, the second episode with us. And
yeah, we're gonna leave the links for the donations.
See you guys for the next episode, and enjoy your IB, enjoy your life, and stay positive.